But those are risks and sacrifices that you have to make in order for you to fulfill your dreams.
Good day, viewers. Welcome to the TLG Alumni Project segment. My name is Nika of TLG The Linkages Group. Today we have Miss Michelle Bautista, a nurse that completed her bridging program and acquired her nursing registration in Southern Cross University last 2019. She is now living together with her husband in Beechworth, Victoria. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Nika. My name's Michelle Bautista, or you can call me Mitch. I'm 32 years old. I moved to Gold Coast in October of 2018. That's in Queensland with my husband, and currently living now in Beechworth, Victoria for almost a year now. I'm working as an associate nurse unit manager in the Acacia's residential aged care in Beechworth Health Services.
Okay, thank you for sharing your time with us today, Michelle. Of course, everyone would be wondering, how did you find out about us, about education linkages, and what caught your interest to work with us?
I found out about education linkages through a certain group in Facebook called Registered Nurses in the Philippines. So in there, sometimes they have this discussions about suggestions on how to transition from Philippines to a certain country. And one of the discussion was about moving to Australia, and there was a question about which like the best way to actually move to Australia successfully. And they have suggested, and most of them had highly suggested education linkages.
Nice. And that was when?
July 2018, yes.
2018. See, that's almost 3 years ago, right?
Yes.
So, looking back, you told us that you graduated in 2009 and acquired your nursing registration in 2010, right? So, we know that it was a weird time for nursing in the Philippines as the nursing boom during those years died down and employment was at a low point. So, can you tell us about your experience in your job search during those years?
Well, for me, finding a job was really difficult at that time in 2010 because the hospitals would prefer that you volunteer for them. And at that time, graduating from a prestigious university in Baguio City, it gave me some pride wherein I don't want to do volunteer work. I'd rather I was I was positive I'm gonna get a job. But then yeah, I went to my alma mater, applied to their hospital there, didn't get the job, eventually ending up doing some menial work like private duty nursing for a couple of months, and then ended up really as a volunteer nurse. So yeah, it was really a difficult time, and it's really degrading. But then those experiences, like being a volunteer, you get to learn a lot of skills, and you get to earn heaps of attitude that will help you get through what you are right now.
Fast forward to your move to Australia. You decided to go to Australia with, of course, the minimal nursing work experience that you had in your home country in the Philippines. So, what was your motivation in coming to Australia back then?
That if I'm gonna get there, then that means God wants it for me. And the other one is I have relatives, so what can I lose? They're all in Gold Coast, Queensland.
It must have been great to have them in the Gold Coast, where you took your bridging program, right?
Yes.
So how have they helped in your journey? And knowing that you had them there, was there a sense of, complacency on your part?
Well, at first, yes, I was thinking that way, but then when I got there was only my youngest aunt and her husband who actually helped from providing me transport, driving me to and from Kulangata, which is 30 minutes each ride, and they have also provided us with food, rent free. Those things could make you complacent, but I think it's more like I'm grateful that things are falling into place. I guess it was just there are things I'm lucky for. There are other things that people are lucky for. Yes.
Yeah. You're lucky in a different aspects. So probably in terms of the adjustment part when you move to Australia, it was easier than you
Yes,
expected because you had your relatives around there, right?
yes, that's
Okay.
true.
So what realizations did you have from that experience? From moving from your home country and then yes, so moving to Australia with minimal nursing work experience, your persistent attitude on getting a nursing work in the Gold Coast and others. Can you tell us your realizations in those?
Well, from all those experience, I realized that I'll always be grateful no matter how good or how bad the experience was, or no matter how smooth or rough the road I took was. It has made me into who I was back then. Like most of my instructors love me, and they have high opinion about me. So I'd say whatever has happened, good or bad, minimal or a lot of experience, I still it still made me who I've become. And yes, that's still helping me until now. Yes. And that's why I should always be grateful. It could have been worse. So yeah, being grateful
Yes.
is what I've learned at all times.
Yes. Yes, of course. And yes, so look at again, look at where you are now. I think there will be much more to be grateful for on your
Yes.
upcoming years of your stay there in Australia. So we were actually talking earlier, and then you told me that after you received your APRA registration, you were adamant in staying in the Gold Coast because of your relatives, right, of your aunts. So unfortunately, you couldn't find sponsorship, and then you eventually had to enroll in another program due to the expiration of your visa. So was this the most difficult challenge and decision that you had to make?
Um Not the most difficult though, but like I guess this was expected of us because most of our classmates who have had acquaintances had decided to study for a while until they get sponsorship. And so I was thinking, oh, I'll get sponsorship soon. So I'll just study, or I'll be able to be invited soon. So I'll just study first. But then, yeah, financially, it's difficult on the financial side because you have to pay again for the visa. You have
We want to know your transition to a work sponsorship visa in relation to COVID. So of course, we all know that we went through a lot last year. We all know that. So we like to know. We like to hear your story on how was your transition from there on.
Well, I think the most difficult part is driving from Gold Coast to Beechworth, which is a 17-hour drive, minus all the rest stops we did and the
And your husband did
sleep.
that?
He's the only one who drove.
Oh wow!
So it was a bit difficult at first because every state has different COVID restrictions. Because I was still on student visa that time, and what happened during COVID was they allowed all nursing students or all who are qualified nurses, upper qualified nurses, to work full time
Oh.
in wherever they like nursing homes or hospitals,
Mm-hmm.
wherever they were employed to. They can work full time without restrictions because we were still student on student visa, so we're not allowed supposedly. But due to COVID, it raised the restrictions. It lifted the restrictions, so we were able to work full time. It allowed us to smoothly go through the process of getting our sponsorship visa.
It was a new door of opportunity has been opened. You are now working in Beechworth Health Services as an associate nurse unit manager, right? So
Yes.
let us talk about your long-term goals, of course, with your husband and your family in your home country. So, what do you see yourself and your family doing 5 years from now, Michelle?
So right this year, right about the start of this year, I'm gonna be part of the Care for Older Persons program, wherein I'm gonna be supported by my workplace to study postgraduate in clinical nursing,
Wow.
gerontology stream, and most most funding will be coming from them.
Mhm.
So yes, and I'm thinking really of just settling here. I like Beechworth. It's really peaceful. Way
Mhm.
but like I've been to cities and I like rural life.
And safer, di ba? Mas safe talaga.
I think so too because in here we don't have that much thief like in the city. Leave your bike, it's gone. We like life here. We're far away from like before. I was hesitant to transfer away from my relatives, but now it's fun to have to fly on your own wings.
Mhm.
Going out of your comfort zone is the best decision you will ever do in your life because you will not regret it. Yes.
Okay. How about your typical day sa current job mo, in your current workplace? Can you describe
Uh,
your typical day?
I'm mostly working afternoon shifts and night shifts, like 2 night shifts a week. So, typical afternoon shift, dealing mostly with behavior. But I'm working with all the other enrolled nurses. Like, there are 4 enrolled nurses in my unit in a 30-bed capacity. So, it's mostly um, making sure you're working as a team. You're not just the in charge, and you not because you're an in charge you get to man them like, hey, do this, do that, do working together with them is what makes the shift um go smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this one person who did say that whenever I'm on, like I'm rostered and I'm working the shift with them, they're happy because even if it's a bad shift, it's okay because I'm there. And if I'm there, it will be a good shift. Something like that.
Okay.
One way or another, we're Asians, we're Filipinos, and we're always competitive. And
That's
and whether
true.
you like it or not, you'll definitely become an in charge because you're a nurse. You'll become an in charge of the ward or of a shift or even like a manager because it happens. We have heaps of Filipinos who are managers. My manager is a Filipina. Working together with them is what's best than you trying to micromanage them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's that's actually for me works best for me. So I think it is best to work with them, not have
Not
them
just
work for you.
overseeing them, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, aside from the state that you are currently at, okay, what do you love most about Australia in general?
I think what I love about Australia is how they were able to manage the people during COVID times, like how they took care of people who got stood down because of COVID. They definitely supported the people, giving them money as high as 1,500, taxable anyway. But still, being able to receive those is already taking care of the people enough. A few weeks ago, I lost my voice and
What
I was
happened?
suspected of COVID.
Oh.
I lost my voice. I
Mhm.
don't know what happened, but I just woke up, lost my voice. I was suspected of COVID, and I had to take the days off. And I got more pay than when I was working normally because the government paid me. But was
Okay.
negative, but still, they still gave me something. And yeah, as I was saying, the support that the government has given us, despite being temporary residents,
Mm-hmm.
is already like something you'd look forward some more if you're a permanent resident or an Australian citizen. Like, even though you're just a temporary resident, they would still support you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've also had these, you know, the taxation system that they have imposed. Like, you get taxed, yes, that's normal. And then at the end of every financial year, we file our taxes and we can claim things like studying we can claim things like uniforms,
Mhm.
professional study, or we can get salary packaging. These things I have never seen anywhere else than here in
Mhm.
Australia. And I guess we are just so privileged by these benefits. And I think that's one of the things you should um, look forward in being in Australia.
That's right. That's right. So from the pandemic response to the to getting what you really work for, and also that kind of life that you're going to pass on to your children soon. Of course, that's something to be considered of, and that's really nice of you to share those things about Australia. For of course for the viewers to know what is it like really to establish life in that country. Okay, and with that being said, can you share us your message to all the aspiring professionals out there who seek guidance on moving to Australia?
So to all of those who are aspiring to become professionals here in Australia, don't worry about lacking experience like me.
Mhm.
Like, trust in him first and ask for his guidance. If you don't believe in him, I think now is the time you have to believe in him, because really, where can nurses be more appreciated than here in Australia? That's true. It's not
Yeah.
even a joke. And not even just nurses, even skilled occupations such as welders and all the other things. I can't even name them. And even accountants. They are necessary to Australia because they value skills, they value experience. So no matter what age you are, I guess, step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid. And I think you just make sure that you're not only bringing knowledge, but you should also be bringing skills, and be flexible when you come here, because really it won't be as easy as 1, 2, 3. Some of you will even start cleaning, head down, bum up, cleaning toilet. That is true. In Australia, you have to do everything. But then, yes, that's away from your comfort zone. But those are risks and sacrifices that you have to make in order for you to fulfill your dreams. Yes. So trust in Him and make sure you do your own part as well.
All right. Very well said. Thank you very much, Michelle, for taking the time to share your story with us today. And then I would also like to congratulate you, Michelle, for the post study work program that you will be joining. Good luck on that. We'd love to hear more stories about that new chapter of your life. So let's keep in touch, okay?
Yes.
That one.
Thank you.
It was really a pleasure to speak with you. And on
Thank
behalf
you.
of our team, we wish you all the best. Education linkages, improving lives by creating possibilities. This
That's
is Nika Latida. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more stories.